Greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And welcome back to Sunless Sea Rewritten. We're here in the Targan's remains, where last time things very nearly went very poorly for me and my crew. But they didn't, because I'm never punished ever for anything in my life. And don't you fucking forget it. In other news, there's a new update! Happened right in the middle of my playthrough. It's not the big 1.0 update, mind, but it does add a fair bit. Well, I say new update, it's gonna be like a week old for you guys because of pre-recording, but you know. Remember those two officers I specifically called out in earlier episodes didn't have stories at all? Yor and the Shrunken Hero? Well, now they do. I think there was a third one that now has a story that didn't before, but I don't have that one. I think I'll wait a little before I do those, because I currently have all of Jack and shit when it comes to supplies, but you know. Let's go. Oh. Ozean Langskip. Langskip, what a name. Bad angle, bad angle. Got him anyway, though. Because, as I said before, I am never punished for anything in my life. Work. Bit of an awkward position. Oof. Ooh! Ha! Tried to juke me, but I'm wise to your tricks. It's not all easy street when it comes to these ships. I've noticed that every different type of ship has its own patterns for movement that you gotta be wary about. Different ships seem to have different skill when it comes to juking you. I don't know exactly how it works. Might just be a weird emergent property of something else, but that's how it seems to work. Oh! Come on, just one more shot. One more shot. And perfect! There we go. You've destroyed an Ozean Langskip. The Ozao flee their conquered ship, slinking away into the waters. To drown, to return east, to... Actually, perhaps the affairs of monsters are best left unconsidered. Investigate the whole. What treasure did these villains take? Well, another Ozao flag. My. War stories. This must have been a ship of some significance, aren't they all? A small war room slouches in its belly, the table covered in crude maps. Two regions are highlighted, the site of Targan's remains, and London. Human remains lie in the only chair. A guest, a meal, or something else. I sure am getting a lot of strategic information from the Ozao. I guess because the Admiralty are very keen on knowing anything about them. This is all of us one day, but let's not be in a tearing hurry about it. That's true. Even I'll be dead one day. But just the one. Like Jesus, but better. And over here is the corpse of Gabriel, who is, as far as I know, dead. Oh, whoops. And over here is a rib cage. Gabriel's rib cage, probably. To go along with what I can only assume was his skull to the east. There's the spine going over to that. I don't know. I'm not an expert in Gabriel anatomy. Uh-oh. Alright. The human factory. Barrel of parts from the machine. Suggestive. Very suggestive. I think... Yeah, there's a plumbing in here. I just didn't have the supplies yet last time. I still don't have many supplies, but fuel is more of a concern. A Blemigan. Would-be parents mutter and shove as you try to find a place for your trap, convinced that you're trying to muscle in on their place in the line. The looks of jealousy on their faces are a sight to behold as the littlest Blemigan that you ever did see slides out from under a rock and leaps up to sit on your shoulder. Well, that's all my fungal water. If I offload 3 things, I could get a full load of 25, but I'm not certain that's a good idea. I'm trying to think about what I can get away with. Let's see. I mean, if we turn off the light, we'll be gaining a lot more terror, but we'll also be like... I don't even remember. Something like halving our... I think more than halving our fuel consumption, to be honest. Yeah. Maybe not more than halving. God, I got so much random crap in my inventory. Yeah, well, I'll live. Another Ozan Lang skip. Okay. I've got your... Muter salt. Oh, thank goodness, I was correct about what this needed. Do not tarry. Do not fear. New flesh will outpace the burning. It's some time before the face is able to speak again. The wall of flesh shrivels and recedes. I am less now, the face sighs, but soon I will be more again. And I've got exactly 7 jellied eyeballs. That is the number, after all. Oh, another thing about the update. I do believe there's finally some actual story over in Sunshade Redoubt, which is... fantastic. Which is why we're probably not gonna go there at all for the next couple of episodes. Neener, neener, neener. Anyway. Yeah, look at that. My fuel is going down so much slower. But look at all that terror. Started this video on 79. Yeesh. It's a bad option, but so are all the rest. Okay. Another full load at 25. You love to see it. Now, if we can swing by Lanak's Retreat, I do believe that's one of the places with harbor provisioners and such, so I can maybe refuel a little. My goodness. I do like to live dangerously, don't I? Uh-oh. Ah, piss. God damn it. Well, that's about the... Yep. Well, we went down below 5. God damn it. I was about to say something about how every couple of episodes I feel like I'm limping around near death, yet somehow not dying. And look at what happens. Yeah, when you go below half crew, you lose the ability to go at 2 speed. I was about to say full speed, but that's a different thing. Anyway. Now, if I recall, there is actually something new here. No, wait, no. It's not here, it's in the resort, isn't it? Ah, well. We'll see that later then. Inquire about having your wound looked at. It aches something fiercely. Nervous coughs. The doctors seem wary of treating anyone with a palpable injury. Oh, you weenies. You'll have to join the queue, one tells you. You decide to forego the weeks that would take. I almost read that as decades that would take. We could trade if we had kept that apple, we could have traded it here for... I forget what. Here we can trade bones for human souls. As one does. A nurse is willing to exchange parts for parts. Hey, that's a pretty good trade. Lamentable relics can be bought at Zatargan's remains for 2 fuel. That's potentially as little as 12 echoes for 2 fuel at Dis for a lamentable relic, which can be then sold for a crate of human souls over here, which is pretty close. And along the way to London, which is where you can sell human souls most efficiently for 60 echoes. Well, or you can sell them for intriguing snippets over in another place, but I don't know how valuable those are. However, I can't do that because I am fairly certain crates of human souls, unlike lamentable relics, use cargo space. And, yeah. Not gonna happen at the moment. Still, good to keep in mind. Oh, I can hire on crew. Sure. There are plenty of sailors left stranded on this island. Many of them are desperate to be anywhere else. Sure, why not? What could possibly go wrong hiring crew from the place full of illness and disease? What could possibly go wrong? Pick me! Me! I'm clean, I tells you! You pick the most eager sailor with the most color in their cheeks. Your concerns about potential contagion are cut short. They present you with a doctor's note clearing them of any diseases. Well, if the doctor prescribed it, let's get another. You welcomed a stranger aboard your ship. This may lead to complications. Fun. Okay. Not a great price for fuel, but any port in a storm. I might even be able to turn my light on. Especially since I now can actually go at 2 speed. If you think having the light on massively increases fuel use normally, just wait till you see what it does when you have less than half your crew and are going at half speed. Absolutely brutal. I don't know why they decided that the lamp needs to absolutely fucking chug fuel like your mother chugs my... Anyway. It's nuts, is what I'm saying. Uh-oh. Bloody Clockwork Dreadnought. Hate those guys. Anyway, I think this will be enough for our first reward. Here you go. That's 8. Here we go. Receive a minor reward from 7 Blemigan reunions. Ah, my spores. My spirit soars. Bloated beginnings. I gave a great task, and you've seen it through. I understand these are important to you. Hey, that rhymes. Wait, has he been rhyming this whole time? Wait a second. Important? Possibly, possibly not. Valuable, certainly. Probably best not to ask where they came from. A crate of brilliant human souls. These were poets, or murderers, or priests, or Z-captains. This crate bears a customs mark. I'm fairly certain that's a holdover from the vanilla game, but it's funny to imagine him emblazoning it with a customs mark. Yes, the mark of the bloated Blemiarch. Everyone knows that one. Anyway. Well, I think we can grab a bit of fungal water. Huh. What am I gonna do with you, then? I could certainly sell you. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway. Did I ever... Yeah, I did. Okay, good. Oh, another thing. There's an actual story at Claiborne Place, apparently. We, still can't do it. Apparently it started by a random Z event. Ha! Oh yeah, that little thing where you can, if you're really desperate, where you've, like, run out of fuel entirely inches from London, you can... at great cost, get to London anyway. But never mind that. I've never had to use that. And there we go. Here we go. Terror back down to 50. Good shit, good shit. Oh, hello. A little proposal. Good evening, you magnificent bastard. And what a marvelous evening it is, if you don't mind me saying so. And given it is my impression you are an obliging sort, I imagine you will not mind at all. And since you are so very obliging, perhaps you wouldn't mind making a little detour via bestiary with a few articles of cargo, if you happen to be in the area. The cheery man will, of course, cover your expenses for this trifling inconvenience. Bestiary. I have absolutely no idea where that is, now do I? So let's ask if there is another task to perform instead. I see you are hesitant. Perhaps you have heard less than wholesome tales of bestiary, and are understandably hesitant to attach your name to such a venture. Well, If you have the vinegar, there is another matter which you might be able to assist me with. We love fake posting. Sure. Let's spin the dice. Yes, I think you'll be very suitable for this task. Very suitable indeed. An assignment, a foreign affair. My employer is, as you may or may not be aware, a gentleman in a sea of villains. Recently, an attempt to form a business relation with a shogunate elite ended with the disappearance of one of his preferred envoys, which has been causing him some distress of late in the absence of any further news. Will that require me going to the shogunate, because I have no idea where that is either. But sure, okay. If you return the keen-eyed envoy, you'll have earned the trust of a powerful individual. Delicate matters. You are to deliver a message to Nimeragawa, and nothing more, if I can make that perfectly clear to you. My patron does not wish this matter to come to blows. He only wants to know what that bastard's demands are, so that we might get our man back and get on with our lives. Okay. Good for you. Ooh. Ceramic scintillac. Right, that's one of the things you wanted. Got some, but... How much does it sell for anyway? 70. So we're getting a... And this is around 1,000 echoes for 7. That's about double. I'd need to find the shogunate to get more. Which I'm already apparently gonna need to do right quick. Bugger. Oh well. At least I got some free supplies. There we go. Got rid of our wounds. Wounds are extremely easy to get rid of in London and bloody impossible to get rid of anywhere else. But never mind. Here we go. Deliver the children. Ship seems strangely quiet now. Quiet and very empty. Speaking of empty, if I'm gonna be going for that scintillac thing, gonna need to offload this scintillac here. See what's new here? Ah, the sunny surfacer. Golly, it's dark down here, ain't it? Welcome aboard. Gosh, a real sea captain with a real ship. I can't wait to see it all. He's got sunshine on a natty day. Ha. Why all the long faces? I'm having a fantastic time. Look at this dude. Anyway. Time to deliver vital intelligence. At last. What's that? Tell me, quickly. Enthusiastic nods. I'm glad you brought this to me. I have a colleague of sorts. A diplomat, so-called. I will tell you because I trust you. This diplomat will pay better, but I will put the information to better use. He leans forward. There are powers in this world I cannot speak of. There are affairs of the Navy I am not proud of. Bring me more information like this, and we can set matters right. Okay then. The voracious diplomat at last. What are you? The diplomat lairs near Mansion's Pyre. Lairs. In a second-floor office above a gymnasium for pugilistic ladies and gentlemen. Your conversation is punctuated by distant shouts and blows. The diplomat smiles fondly at the sounds. Ask about the diplomat's role. What kind of diplomacy is involved? kind of diplomacy that doesn't get written down. I'm attached to the Admiralty, not the Foreign Office. London is not what she was, but she still has interests abroad. I look after them as best I can. I do hope you're patriotic enough not to ask for too many details. Ask about the dark spectacled admiral. Do they work closely together? A carefully neutral expression. Well now, the admiral is a man of principle, very straightforward, very traditional in his views. I think it's rather courageous of him to expect the Navy to operate without outside assistance. And he has excellent taste in both chamber music and wine. I hope that makes my feelings clear. Outside assistance, huh? Oh, I can convince the voracious diplomat to pursue peace talks for a fraction of what it costs to convince the dark spectacled admiral, which I suppose makes sense. First, though, port reports. Let's see. Are there any new ones? I don't think so. Oh wait, yes there is. Zatargan's remains. I'm surprised you braved it. Captains often go missing there. I nearly went missing myself, but I'm too fucking pro for that. A day at the races, was it? Who won this time? Anyway. Did I just lose fuel? Whatever. Okay then. Well, why not? A tad ominous, to be sure, but oh well. At last, a nod. Yes. Yes, such a play could work to our advantage. It's not a play, you protest. Your intentions are only to end the threat of violence. Quite. That attitude, too, will be an asset. Do keep it up, won't you? You leave uncertain whether the diplomat shares your vision. At least the papers you've acquired will get you started. Ha ha ha. Well, any port in a storm, I suppose. Oh, wait, what am I thinking? Of course, there's an obvious way to figure out roughly what her deal is. Provide vital intelligence. And follow the money. I say, now I'm listening. Etched in memory. The diplomat takes no notes and makes no sign. Only listens in absolute silence, and finally nods and declares, I'll pass this on to where it will do the most good. Thank you. The voracious diplomat serves London, but has dangerous allies. Gained supremacy London? You now have supremacy, the Umwelt dynasty. Such quiet, clever little things. My. Fancy that. Alright then. Well, at any rate, we can pick up an agent. I have a friend, the diplomat says casually, who would be grateful for passage somewhere else. Neo Kamakura, for instance, or Chateau de Sceaux. Well, I'm already going to the shogunate. A name, an address. Both are probably temporary, but they're all you need. Alright. A diplomatic agent, well-trained and entirely loyal. You hope? One can only. Anyway. Ask the Admiral what he thinks of the voracious diplomat. The diplomat, a half-legendary, all-infamous figure whose connection to the Admiralty is obscure. A frank scowl. An unprincipled scoundrel, the Admiral snaps. If you have intelligence, bring it to me. Don't go off books. I do believe that's the same as what he said in the previous history. At any rate, return to the apathetic consul with direct orders. He's visibly annoyed to see you. Good. Official channels. He triple checks everything, muttering all the while, but the authority you've levied is stronger than his own. You're in. It won't be as simple as merely asking, of course. There's a glimmer of the proud man he once was in him as he arranges his papers. I have some sway in the palace, but not enough to arrange such an event. Not until certain difficulties are taken care of. And I don't doubt that the other parties in attendance will feel the same. Find out what the other powers in the Neath want. When all are satisfied, then we may proceed. Satisfy the needs of London, the Shogunate, the Ozal, and the Umwell dynasty. It can never happen again. What? What will it take for London to seek peace? Surely the Shogun has a heart. They do want things, right? How does one appease flowers? A good question. The voracious diplomat might know a bit more about that. Well, what will it take for the consul to attend the peace talks? The dastardly daimyo. A brown folder hits his desk. Inside are images of a tall man with the attire of a shogunate daimyo. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This man considers himself the perfect heir to the shogun. A warrior king for the ages. He attracts violence, and is attracted to the forces that cause it. Forces that cause it? You're given a page from the folder, sketches of a ship. Presently, he has command of a powerful prototype vessel. It lurks in uncharted waters, somewhere far to the northeast. Far to the northeast? Like in the very corner? There's nothing in the northeast corner. Or at least there is now. So long as he, or it, survive, diplomacy will not be an option. Is an assassination mission really on the path to peace? You're given no opportunity to protest. Our sources say he cannot swim well. Accidents happen at sea. See to it. Okay. A tad counterintuitive, but if peace was easy, everyone would have it. Anyway. Let's hire on more crew, thank you very much. Let's see if Enneagon fixed this weirdness in the update. Probably not. I didn't see it in the changelog, and this showed up like a day before the update. Alright. Oh! Alright! Of course! They changed the romance targets, because I pointed out that they kind of break the lore. Maybe this was changed then, I don't know. The luscious lass. Unfortunately, I can't exactly show you the earlier parts of it, but oh well. That's the troubles of playing a mod that's still in development. Once I get a taste for something, I never let it go. It's a flaw of mine. Maybe you don't mind. Ah, sweet. A few hours together. Shared warmth, new memories. It's hard to say goodbye this time. Ooh. Can pay for entry to the inverted quarter, now that we have outlandish artifacts. Well, I had these earmarked for something else, but I do have 3 of them. The inverted quarter is a popular dig site where the order of the fallen cities is inexplicably flipped. Ostensibly, proof is required that you're able to carefully handle valuable objects. The archaeologist on duty stamps your forms. Their eyes are glued to your offering the whole time, no doubt calculating where they can reasonably claim to have discovered it. Ha! You've received an archaeologist's welcome. Inverted quarter, what a concept. A ruin of the first city, blasted clean by time, conflict, and looters. Below it, in defiance of logic, is a fragment of the second city, crushed but accessible to the sufficiently determined. Below that, the third city, and so on. A piece of fallen London presumably sits at the bottom of the pile. On a stretch of untouched land, a large pub, the Fata Morgana, has become a headquarters for archaeological digs. What a peculiar place, huh? The very history of this place has been flipped upon its head. Then again, maybe it's not too dissimilar to the rest of the Neath after all. Just more brazen. Fund an expedition to the first city. It's dangerous and unlikely to be profitable, but maybe your team will stumble across something everyone else has missed. Fund an expedition to the second city. Most of the obvious paths down have been looted or vandalized, but there should be plenty of unclaimed treasures further afield. Fund an expedition to the third city. Archaeologists whisper of some monster that lurks down there. Fund an expedition to the fourth city. What lost treasures did your neighbors leave behind? Or fund an expedition to the fifth city. It's a long way to go for a little slice of home. Yeah. 20 echoes, 100 echoes, 300 echoes, 500 echoes, 700 echoes. If I recall, the way this works is that you spend this cash and then it takes a few more returns to London for it to actually pay off, and then it has a 50-50 chance of actually paying off in some valuable treasures or in jack shit. So it's let's go gambling time. I don't know. It's a peculiar sort of design, to be frank. Let's fund an expedition to the first city, why don't we? If nothing else, for flavor text. Amateur explorers. The team you managed to assemble are students and hobbyists, many of whom have never been on a dig before. You're inwardly glad you won't be present when their precious excitement fades under the drudgery of real archaeology. Anyway. What else? Ah, right, dry dock. Here's another thing that changed. These whole things, the ones that completely repair your hull, now this one costs 38 echoes. That's not because the cost was reduced, technically. That's because the cost is now calculated based on how much hull you're missing. I don't know if it's based on the percentage or the absolute quantity of hull you're missing. I don't know. I haven't rigorously checked that yet because this is my first time doing this since the update. But yeah, they changed that so that you can actually patch up your ship without spending the full cost every time. Because frankly, the way it worked in the original game was utterly deranged. This is much more reasonable. I could purchase an elegant townhouse with my hard-earned cash. Or I could buy a better gun. I thought these are less expensive than I thought they were. Oh, right, I was thinking of the engines. The Destructor. A well-marketed cannon. Popular with desperate captains and clueless hobbyists. Up until recently, I was the former. Let's see. Viper does a lot more life damage, but way less hull damage. But it does crew damage. Ah, I see. The Destructor. Oh, right, that's Mark 7. This is Mark 14. Quite a few versions. Considered by many to be the true form of the Destructor, to the tune of 4 more life damage and 6 more hull damage. I do wish this was better formatted so that I could see the stats without having to hover over them, or at least see whether they're a deck weapon or a forward weapon or an aft weapon. Look at that aft weapon. 4 damage to hull and life. Warm-up time 2 seconds, though. Wow. If just in case you want to get rid of all your cannonballs in a hurry and don't want to do much damage in the process. No, I kid. Decent irons will make up most of the difference. There's the biological payload one. Aft weapon. So the best deck weapon then is this, way up here. The best one here anyway. Unless I want to be doing crew damage specifically to claim ships. I don't exactly have the crew to spend on sending ships back with a prize crew. Although... No. Can't quite afford the Corvette. Now can I? I bet next time I return to London, I may very well have enough money for that. But at any rate... This would help me a lot more against Z-Beasts. No, I should go for the Viper. I can outplay enemy Zailers, as we've seen. I've been able to dance around them without taking a single shot for ages. I can do that a little longer to fire off another couple of shots. Z-Beasts, however, as we've seen with those bloody prophets, aren't so polite. And I'm gonna be needing to hunt a fair few more Z-Beasts, now won't I? For the hearts, the sharks, that violent shrine, whatever its deal was. Yes. Okay. A hunter must hunt. God, this thing is so shit. Oh yeah, I want to pay 500 echoes to get very slightly more engine power. Yeah, thanks. Avid suppressor, that'd be nice, but I don't have an aft slot. Avid suppressor allows you to go roll around at full power all the time because your engine won't explode. But it requires an aft slot, which limits your ability to use it. Well, in the previous history, it limited it. In this one, well, you'll see. But that won't be relevant for a while now. Alright, I nearly forgot. We've got some officers to talk to. Ah, crap, I forgot I needed terror for this, damn it. Ah! Okay, we'll have to wait on that one, but here's the Shrunken Hero. Oh, he can even increase our veils now. What ho! I always have time for an adoring fan. Dine with the Shrunken Hero. Indeed, let's. In fact, I've got a favor to ask, if you're amenable to it. Old glories. He has stories that ramble on into other stories, and then into further stories. Most of them take place on the battlefields of the service world, from the open expanses of the far north to the claustrophobic jungles of darkest Africa. Your many questions are rebuffed with an airy, "I'll get to that," that never seems to materialize. One recurring character drifts through every tale, and inquiring about him finally earns a nod. Ah yes, Pertev. Magnificent man. We met during a ceasefire between our respective armies. A territorial dispute in the Ottoman Empire, you see. I was serving as a commander. He as a dragoman. That's a, professional interpreter sort of fellow, to put it simply. We shared a drink, knowing we'd be hacking each other to bits come dawn. That's when the tale goes on for some time, finally ending with both armies in tatters, and the two friends sneaking off to seek their fortunes. Good times. At last he yawns. Ah, good times. Indeed. We must do this again. His plate is empty. How did he... He never stopped talking! And yet, despite that, he never got around to asking you about that favor he wanted. Ha! I heard a tale of a heroic dragoman. Incredible if true. Yeah. Dragomen aren't exactly the most stereotypically heroic of fellows. Back in his day, people knew what a hero was. Ha. Dine again with the shrunken hero. Oh right, that favor. To understand that, you'll need to know about... Oh dear. A picture begins to form. This time, the tales skew northward, speaking of blistering winters and dismal summers. You sit and eat through the length of multiple campaigns, knowing that prompting him to hurry up will only lead to another tangent. Dear God. Which is where we met Sergei. He finally seems to be coming to some kind of conclusion. A man seemingly without fear or limitations, strong as an ox and twice as stubborn. He could wield anything as a weapon, including, on one occasion, myself, and a good strong heart to match. Yes, he was the fifth and final member of our little band. Fifth? Final? Oh, did I not tell you about the rest? Yes, the five of us were quite the team. I'll tell you all about them next time. Oh joy, he's just gonna fleece me for all my supplies, isn't he? Good thing I waited till I was here. With one hand tied behind his back, you say? For the tale of a living weapon. There's quite a gulf, isn't there, between "you're like a living weapon" derogatory and "you're like a living weapon" affectionate. Anyway, dine again with the shrunken hero. Yes, that favor. You see, it involves those people I mentioned. The adventure continues. He begins talking before you've even sat down. Geronimo! Now there was a man you couldn't trust. I would have considered him my rival, if he had ever revealed himself as the mastermind behind his illusions. The tales veer into the improbable and implausible. Seances, mermaid sightings, a mechanical devil that played chess. Ha! I know that one. That was the classic case of a supposed artificial intelligence that was just a guy underneath working levers. Essentially. They weren't able to pin him for a single one, the hero laughs. But his genius was being wasted on parlor tricks. When I finally caught up to him, I decided then and there to put him to a greater purpose. And what purpose was that? Next time. My bones ache. You've heard a tale of a brilliant mind. Making it disappear is only half the trick. Making yourself disappear before they realize they've been had is the other half. Ha! Man after my own heart. He's got an appreciation for that sort of thing, which I guess is why he's one that increases my veils of all stats. Dine again with the shrunken hero. I'm gonna go through all of the supplies I bought before I even leave port. The favor? But I haven't gotten to the most important part. A band of brothers, and one sister. Barbara. The hero's tone turns wistful. There was a face that could launch ships. Never did learn of her origins. She claimed to be Egyptian, but spies have to claim all sorts of things, don't they? She could sell you the world for the shirt off your back and leave you feeling like an emperor in new clothes. Magnificent woman. Just what the team needed. How many metaphors was that mixed together? Never mind. You attempt to pry into the nature of the team, but the hero's grin twists into a smirk. Now, I know what you're thinking about me and Barbara. Did we ever? And you've answered your own question. Did we ever? Why, you swiftly excuse yourself. You'll need to try something else to make him get to the point. Ha. If he wasn't hoovering up all my supplies, I'd be glad to hear him go on about all of this. You've got to have a girl in the group. Otherwise, people might get the wrong idea. Ha. Quite. Dine once again with the shrunken hero. He'll drag this out forever if you let him. time to turn the tables. Oh. Good thing I got those 3 tales of terror earlier. Tales for a tale. This time, you cut him off as soon as he enters the room, launching into your own story of horror and despair. Presumably what went on in the arms of the machine, as little as I understood that. Several times he tries to interrupt, but you steam on, watching his resolve crumble before your eyes. Bloody hell. He's looking quite pale and weak at the knees when you conclude. Wow. Harsh. I don't think I'm in the mood for any more stories, he admits. The favor, then? Oh, did I not mention? Our final heist. I'll tell you the short version. The short version takes over an hour to tell. You gather, in time, that the hero and his merry band stole a weapon from a surface sultan and fled to the Neath to escape his wrath. Which brings us to where we are today, he concludes at long last. Barbara buried the weapon somewhere in the Neath. She gave each of us a piece of the map that leads back to it. Why? What an odd thing to do. Okay, sure. I guess it makes for a much better story. Slyly, he flashes a folded piece of paper, tucked away under his armor. We all went our separate ways, but we're old now, and you can't take it with you, can you? I'd like to see them one last time, and to see that treasure in the hands of someone worthy. Well, where are they? Pertev is the only one I kept in touch with. You'll find him near London, tending to the horses. Okay, it only took 5 supplies. The wrinkled right-handed Ormond. Incredible if true. Let's see. Increase your veils. What do you wager I can take your head clean off with one blow? Haha. The art of distraction. How in the blazes did he pick that sailor's pocket? You were watching him the whole time. No, you were watching my mouth, he counters. That's what seemed to move. Ha. Alrighty then. Fair enough. Let's... You know what? Let's get that up to 30. Get that down to 7. 7 is the number, after all. Okay. I was about to say I think that's everything, but no. Invite the sunny servicer to dine with you. It's been a fantastic voyage, Captain. I haven't left the... Okay. Let me whip up something for you. My treat. Snapshot shooter. The fare is straightforward, but entirely palatable. Love everything I've seen down here so far, the servicer quips over a spoonful of mashed potatoes. The only downside... He fumbles and pulls a miniature daguerreotype out of his pocket. Blasted thing won't take a single shot down here. It's either too dark or too light. Nothing develops properly. But I've heard you've got some golly good mechanics down here in the Neath. Maybe one of them could show us a thing or two, eh? Find a scientist who can repair the Sunny Surfacer's daguerreotypes. Daguerreotype. Find a scientist who can repair the Sunny Surfacer's daguerreotype. Well, I can think of one place where we can find scientists. Increase your hearts. Been all around the world, I have. For a good old-fashioned tale swap. Cheerful recollections. Here's a few tales that rival your own. Of jungle cannibals, giant cats, drawing short straws at sea. He seems cheerily oblivious to the fact that each story involves him almost being eaten, looking back on them with laughter and a fond smile. Ha. Fair enough. Okay. Let's get those mushroom. Let's get that mushroom wine and yet another thing of supplies. And I think I need prisoner's honey for a couple of things. Let's get a couple of it. I forget exactly what though. You understand he needs tools and money to buy materials, but what is the wine for? The most important ingredient. It's vital to lubricate the crankshafts. You stare dubiously. Do not question me, child, he says. I've been sailing since ye were not yet a wee inkling in your mam's thoughts. Fair enough, then. Alright. Okay, I think that's everything. I could play cards. Oh wait, no. You also want mushroom wine. Drink with the weary ambassador. Perhaps some spirits will lift his spirits. Perhaps some wine and fine dining will put an end to his whining. Ha! Time off, but still working. No, thanks. But I'm in recovery, I'm afraid. 10 years sober. After a lifetime of upstanding service, it was quite an oddity, you know? I imagine most drunkards are born earlier than their 40s. But living wifeless in the Ovzao lands required a little nightcap here and there. Before breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and often in between. Why did he stay if he hated the post? Queen and country, fool that I am. He smiles with fatigue, but also pride. As a young 40-year-old, I thought an Ozao post would enable faster promotion. But when they told me they needed me there more than anywhere else, who was I to refuse Her Majesty? If I don't present a cool face to manage Ozao relations, we could get into another war. With thousands of decent London men, women, and children on my conscience. Won't have that, no. Been leading the Ozao Foreign Services ever since. First real time off only started when I decided to step aboard your ship. Sounds like he needs a vacation. What's that? He asks. Lands above. After a long, puzzled pause, you believe the weary ambassador is being genuine. Poor bastard. Oh well. We all have our crosses to bear. We're gonna wanna swing through, up through Kulakita and Enparan, then swing to the Gallery of Sentences to use these outlandish artifacts. Then out into the great unknown to find Nameragawa and Neokamakura. We've got business there. A great deal. But that's all for next time. Until then, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.